Smoking hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amol Patel. You're watching the Smoking Hot Coffee Show, where we cover internet startups, monetization, design, and marketing. I'm joined with,
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Pelton. I'm down here in San Diego.
and I'm in Los Angeles. And if you want to reach Jeff, he's at Comster, and I'm at Amol_Patel. All right, so Jeff, Cup 24. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling great. It's a nice sunny day here.
It is. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Los Angeles too. We are spoiled, Jeff. We are spoiled. I mean, it is incredible out there, folks.
Yeah, it sure is. I got out a little bit earlier today, and it was quite a pleasure.
Yeah, same here. I did get away from my computer, and it was lovely outside in the real world. All right. So, with that, Jeff, do we want to start off with some news, or should we just go right into the startups? How do you want to handle this?
Well, I think we're going to continue this format and do 2 startups a day, right?
Yeah.
In addition to that, I guess we have a news story I'd be interested in talking about. I think I Skyped you the link if you want to pull it up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I don't know. How do you feel about talking about the Yahoo Marissa Mayer story?
I would love to talk about that. Let me pull up your Skype here, and whoop, there we go. Here. Okay, there we go. So no more remote work at Yahoo. So what's this about, Jeff?
This is actually a post by DHH on the 37 Signals blog about Marissa Mayer's announcement, which he quotes here that beginning in June, we're asking all employees from work from home arrangements to work in Yahoo offices. So this is Yahoo in a letter to everyone at Yahoo, I guess. If this impacts you, your management has already been in touch with next steps. And for the rest of us who occasionally have to stay home for the cable guy, it's funny, we were just talking about that, right? Please use your best judgment in the spirit of collaboration. Being a Yahoo isn't just about your day-to-day job. It is about the interactions and experiences that are only possible in our offices. So I think that's the gist of her message to the team at Yahoo, which is crazy. Big news, I guess, if you're an employee there, or big news for anyone to get if they're an employee in that situation. What do you think?
Jeff, I honestly feel like Yahoo's been in trouble for a long time. They're obviously a very heavy content network now, and I don't think less and less. I think people are relying on it for search. So clearly, their search business is going down. Now, I don't know how, from a content development perspective, how important it is for people to be working closely together. In general, I think people love the flexibility of going into the office and then being able to work from home, and you can really attract and keep the best talent if you offer that as part of your company culture. Now, making everybody that used to work from home come in that's kind of a bitter pill to swallow. I mean,
yeah, I thought DHH did a pretty good job of summing it up in his little post here, where he mentions that not only are they going in the wrong direction, they're like pulling it in backwards. People who were working at home, they're now have to work in the office. It's not just that they're not going to let you; they're actually reversing their stance.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame, I think, for a lot of us who realize the power of working at home sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're a big content company, but I think they're also kind of a big technical programmer company. A lot of their employees, I believe, are highly skilled technical engineer type individuals.
Yeah.
And they want it's competitive out there for them, and I think that Yahoo might be making a big mistake in doing this.
Yeah.
Or what it speaks to is the fact that they made a big move like this. There are obviously massive problems internally, and you wonder what the real motives were behind this.
I'd love to know what's going on behind the scenes. He does mention inside the article that Google and Apple can get away with more restrictive employment policies because they're at the top of the game.
Right.
And are highly desirable places to work. So clearly, being able to work from home is a desirable trait. The fact that Google and Apple do not allow that is a testament to the fact that maybe having everybody show up to a building is still valuable in this day of telecommuting and Skype. So Jeff, we can't ignore that. And so Marissa may
Maybe.
simply be has seen this in her own experience working at Google, and now she's trying to corral these people to turn Yahoo around, but they're no longer working together. They're all working together remotely, and it's an issue. I'm kind of
Uh,
on the fence on this one, Jeff. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I work from
I
home.
think if I think the point I agree with that he makes here is if they had originally said let's be a culture of working in the office, like I think Google or Apple have done, then it would make sense. But the idea of reversing something like this is kind of a big red flag. And he also mentions how they are unable to retain a CEO. So at this pace, Marissa's not going to be there much longer.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So it's really scary to see this kind of leadership, in my opinion.
I have
I
to.
was hoping for Marissa to do some good, but I'm worried if she's just going to do what she saw worked at Google.
Well, this is deeply embedded. I'm sure there are people on both sides of this issue in the startup world, in the startup culture in general. Um, I think honestly, for certain functions, it's helpful to have people together, and then others, it's not so much. But I
Yeah.
do believe that flexible environments are the key. Not forcing anybody to do one way or the other is an important thing. But she's used to having people all in the same building, especially as she's trying to turn Yahoo around. So I can see her where she's coming
Uh,
from.
I don't know, man. I appreciate the way DHH puts it as putting ass in seats. Really, it's a nine to
Yeah,
five.
yeah,
It's a 9 to 5 mentality.
it
Like
is. It
we're
is.
all fucking stuck here together, so deal with it.
Yeah.
And I like the joke in her statement, in the Yahoo statement about the cable guy. I
Yeah.
think we mentioned that in a previous startup, right? Like,
Hmm.
the pain or like how nice it would be if the cable guy had like GPS or something. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
like how stupid is it? It's still a cultural thing. You only get your cable hooked up once, but it's
Yeah.
still like pulling teeth. You have to like take a day off work. I mean, to make
So
this
I would.
appointment, and it's crazy that they're basically not giving you that freedom
Okay,
anymore.
so let's talk about something very specific. She said being a Yahoo
Hmm.
isn't just about your day-to-day job. It's about the interactions and experiences that are only possible in our offices.
So that's a bold move right there. I
Okay,
mean,
so
that's alienating a lot of people that are.
okay,
So that's why I want to play the devil's advocate on the companies that DHH listed as very positively using remote workers, which are Automatic, the people behind WordPress,
hmm,
which huge powerhouse.
yeah, yeah,
Obviously, 37 Signals. I mean,
yeah,
I'm a huge fan of their book Rework.
yeah, yeah,
It looks like they're plugging a whole remote working book here at
yeah.
this
They've got a whole
but
remote working book
I mean,
going.
they
So
have a chapter or an essay about, stars are found everywhere,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That, this is all about attracting talent and keeping them. So
yeah,
I think these guys know that there are talented people anywhere in the world, and you can harness them by making a move to Silicon Valley, or you can, just make sure they have a good internet connection and are doing their jobs.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the point that he also makes here too, is that this is a huge red flag that Yahoo doesn't actually know who's doing work.
yeah,
Because the typical approach for a developer or engineers that working from home, there are absolutely no fears from an engineering point of view because it's all transparent, right? Like you can
yeah,
tell if I did the work, you can tell if the website works, if it doesn't work.
yeah.
I'm accessible by Skype just as well as by any other means.
Hmm.
You can certainly argue that you're not going to have the you can't hug each other and like collaborate on the whiteboard in the
Right,
exact same way,
right.
but you can certainly get a lot done.
Well, Jeff, having had worked virtually for a long time now, I can tell you there are big pitfalls. One of the pitfalls is that the human interaction and the loneliness starts to the lack of human interaction, the loneliness starts to creep in a little bit. Especially if you're very busy and your head's down, working, 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 and you don't get a chance to get out, you miss that. There's a human interaction that starts to be missed. The things about experiences and interactions that are only possible in offices. I'm a big believer that as we move more and more into remote working and telecommuting, we'll have different devices that allow us to feel the presence of our coworkers. So I don't want to get too Star Trekky here, but I can imagine one day we have a holodeck or some sort of thing where I can literally see Jeff and waist high, and he's literally like sitting next to me, even though he's miles away, and I could
Well,
sort
we're
of
showing the mother of all demos had like a video sharing overlay,
Yeah.
where you feel
Exactly, exactly. So I can totally see that, and I can also totally see a virtual company, and that they have a policy where whenever you're working, you leave your Skype video on.
Exactly.
Even if you're not saying anything, you just leave it on because then he's in the office with you.
Yeah.
And I can see those types of things being instituted. But having everybody come back in after you told them that they could work at home is pretty a pretty fucked up move. And I wish her well. Yahoo is a great property. I hope they turn it around, but they haven't been innovative in a very long time, and I'd like to see that change.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to really get them back on track or change the batting slump that they're in for being able to actually innovate or do anything interesting on the web. So,
Yeah.
So curious to see what happens with them.
Yeah. So having said that, I think we've talked about that enough. Let's go on to our first startup, Jeff. If that's okay with you.
Yeah. No. Hopefully, people find it interesting that we dive into a little bit of startup culture. Certainly, company culture is something that everyone's trying to figure out.
Yeah. Yep. So here we are at 500px. All right, 500px.com. Wow. Okay, so now we've reached a site, and it's got this beautiful, big, huge photograph in the background. It says the world's best photo sharing. Get started by liking this amazing photo. Oh, I like that. I like the fact that they're getting you to already spam your network by liking it. So I'm not so sure if I'm going to do that right now because I don't
Is that a Facebook like or?
I think so.
It's green. It doesn't look like
All right,
Facebook
so let's
to
see
me.
what happens. Wow, you're right. It isn't a Facebook like. That's confusing. Because that's the first thing that I thought of was that I'm sending this to Facebook, and it didn't ask me to authenticate. So yeah, that's a little confusing. But all right, so here we are at the detail page, and it gets me right in there, and we've got a little welcome box here. And it's created a temporary starter account. That's nice. Let's set that up for you without signing in. And here I am at an image. I've got some comments underneath the image, and a whole lot of comments, actually.
It's really neat. I like the way they did that, able to get you to try it without creating an account.
Yeah. There's no tour. Well, it does lead a little bit of a tour here, but it got me in a starter account and it got me right in there. Now here we are at an image. There's some sort of graph on the left here, or the right. Pulse looks like. It's got the number of views, votes, and favorites. And yeah, this looks like a typical, detail page of some product or some item or some service. We've got some tags and we've got some comments. All right, so now that I've seen this, what do I do next?
Do you think you can try following the author Daniel at the top? I'm just curious if.
Oh wow, look at that! I can follow without even signing up. That is
just from a technical background, the way that they did engineer that you have a sort of don't have a good term for it right now, but a user account without creating an account or creating a password is genius.
Yes.
It's a very, very helpful way to get people to start using your product, start putting data into the product, right? This is why it's usually a barrier. Programmers or developers realize there's a technical challenge to implementing that feature.
Yeah.
But now that you're adding data, like, you don't want to walk away from it. You're far more likely, I think, to create an account now that you have a vested interest.
That's true. That's very good, and you're kind of already building up. Yeah, you're kind of already building up some interactions and some stuff on your generic whatever starter account. So that's very cool that they're doing that. And so, anyways, I went ahead and hovered over their main navigation they've got at the top, and there's under photos, there's popular, editor's choice, upcoming, and fresh. And I went ahead and clicked on popular, and I was meted by a 4 by I don't know, whatever it is, 10 grid of beautiful, beautiful imagery. I mean, whoever's curating this site is just. I mean,
yeah, these are very nice.
These are gorgeous, gorgeous
vampire
images.
cat.
Yeah, they've got a vampire cat.
The egg cracking in half. I mean, you have everything here from nature shots to.
Yeah. We got landscape. We've got like wildlife, some beautiful stuff. So clearly, they've got a good amount of seed photographers on their network. Contributing images.
So describe what this product is, the business model. It looks like it's got the marketplace kind of template going on with the.
Yeah, yeah.
profile on the right.
Yeah, so I can follow and I can like it, and they've got tags for looks like it's shot on a 7D, and it even gives you the focal length. So it's very specific to photographers, and when they capture images, the shutter speed and all that stuff, what lens they use. So it's very catered to photographers. So that explains why maybe photographers would join a service that is, adheres to things that they care about. What was it shot on? What was the lens? What time of day, perhaps even. Even it says uploaded 18 hours ago. It tells you what date it was taken on. So that's very cool that they're doing that. They've got tags. I can click on reptiles. Now I've got all these reptiles, which is kind of neat. And each image is there's no bad image here. I'd say this one's not that great, but the rest of them are beautiful. I mean,
so let me ask you, how did you hear about this site, and how did they survive? How are they getting the seed photographers on here to?
That's a good question. I thought
how are they so good?
I found this site. God, I can't remember now. I found the site a while back, and I remember looking at it, just like marveling at the quality of the imagery that they have on here. I don't remember how, but I do remember that they had that I signed up, and then after about 20-30 days, it asked me to pay. That'd be after I went from a starter free, and then they were trying to get me to go to plus or awesome. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, so for those listening along, I mean, this basically looks like a Flickr.
It
right?
does.
The
It does look a lot
Flickr.com.
like a Flickr.
But there's a pricing button at the top. So who's paying money? Is it the photographers? And can the photographers make money off these beautiful photos?
Yeah.
They're just putting all these photos up for free.
Yeah, so
or
that's a good
paying
point.
to have them
That's a good point. So they do have this thing called $25 off your next Blurb book. So they went ahead and they've integrated with Blurb, which will print out these images in these beautiful photo stitched, hardcover or softcover books. So they've got an integrated thing where you can print out your imagery into physical items. They've got this thing where you can upload as many photos as you want. You can create your own marketplace. You can, whatever.
Oh, okay. So you can sell your photos. I was looking for a buy button.
Yeah, you can sell your photos. You get advanced statistics and analytics. And if you pay for awesome, you can even own your own subdomain. So you can have whatever your name is .500pixel. .com px, or you can do a custom domain. So if you don't have a website, they'll give you your own domain and essentially white label their app for you. So that's very cool. I can totally see that happening.
Okay.
So you're building up a huge photographer database, users and people that are into photography, and then eventually, when they're ready to migrate into their own domain, you've got a huge user base to pull from. So I could totally see that happening. It sounds like a great business model. I know this site was built in Rails, from what I remember. Maybe it was a Rails news or something. I remember reading.
Yeah, I forget the beautiful logo. I feel like I've seen it around for a little while now. Definitely beautiful photography, and I'm sure popular because of that. I didn't see how much they take from the sales.
Yeah, you know what?
They must take a percentage of the sales, and I'm not seeing many of these with a buy button. But I mean, how do you differentiate this from Flickr? I mean, do you think these get? What's your survival? Let's. I want to get your ratings.
Yeah,
let's
get the ratings in here. So design-wise, it is just beautifully gorgeous.
Yeah,
I
is
think
so beautiful.
From a design perspective, I
give it a
actually
5
like this
from
design
mine.
better than Flickr. I think Flickr looks a little bit dated now.
Well, let's just get to the brutal truth, right? We just ended a story about Yahoo kind of making their departure from the startup culture.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to Flickr, man? How come these guys are just attacking Flickr, right?
Yeah, I don't know what
Same
happened.
exact market?
Honestly, I have no idea what happened to Flickr. Yahoo's just gotten so massive. I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened to Yahoo, to be honest.
Because I mean, photographers, would that still be a place to go, like for hosting beautiful photos?
It could be, but if it was me, I would not. I think Flickr's just, it's just kind of, it's just old and hasn't been redesigned in a while. At least last time I looked, it looks the same.
Fresh. Okay.
Honestly, it looks the same to me. But it does have a great API, and they are connected to Yahoo, so it is pretty open, and they have probably the widgets all over the place. So survival, I give it a 3, and marketing, I give it a 3. It's all based around their user base. It looks like they've penetrated the photographers. Whoever's curating the imagery that gets posted to the homepage is doing an awesome job. I'd love to see how they're handling that. But they've got some great curated content, and they've got a fairly decent business plan there, where they've got people upgrading to their own domains and people buying the books, or the photo hard copies. So
great partnership, yeah.
So I'd like to see some more partnerships actually with physical products ways that they can actually leverage that. Maybe other places that will frame prints. I don't know. Instead of just books, you can buy large prints that get framed by certain people. I don't know if there's a service out there, you know. So.
Cool. Well, definitely love this product. I think their marketing could be a little bit different, but beautiful site. Well
Yeah.
curated.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Let's get to citibuddies.com.
All right, what's this one all about?
Okay, I think you added this one, Jeff. Whoa, we've got a little. What is this? Is this Flash? No, it isn't. It's JavaScript. A 3D kind of carousel thing going on there. So it's on the right. They've got a grid, the circular cylinder, almost looking image gallery that's spinning very slowly, and it says discover new activities and new people. Get relevant info in real time based on what you love for free. Okay, that's interesting. So it's like a little social network. Get to know people. And maybe discover new activities. And underneath the logo, they've got "Be Local Everywhere." I don't know what that means, "Be Local Everywhere," but it is a pre-launch product. It's a get your invite, and I assume there's a lead gen for that. And it's in Spanish, part Spanish, so maybe this is a Spaniard company.
Interesting. Yeah, sorry, I don't have any more details on how this was sourced for our list, but I think it's an interesting space.
Okay, well, I went ahead and hit the About Us. It's child of Globan, born in 2012 at a realization that the most amazing experiences are shared with friends, colleagues, strangers. Isn't that everybody, though? Isn't
Yeah.
when you include strangers, isn't that like everybody? Well, who else would you share an experience with? Your dog, I guess?
Right. Okay, so maybe we should just rate this from our
Well, hold on a second.
small
Let's try
impression
to
we have from the
ascertain what the
homepage.
product is. So it says
Okay.
it's a personalized discovery service for activities and people in cities that connect you to new things and people, and spends a new experience horizon. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what that means. It connects you to the best activities and coolest people based on what you love. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So I love web design. How does this connect me with activities and people into web design? I'd love to see that. If you guys are watching, Darja or Angel, please contact us and let us know how you guys are doing that. Are you guys aggregating these activities and data mining several sites and organizations for a list? How is that happening? Do I enter this thing in? How are you guys covering that? Are you doing this for the whole world? That's a little bit too big. Are you guys doing it for regions and countries? I'd love to see a little bit more. It's a massive vision. It's a little bit too general in my opinion, so that's my thought.
Yeah, jump back to the homepage. I mean, just that might have been the as much of it that I saw before I bookmarked it. What do you think of the visual?
Oh wait, I clicked on it. Hold on. I just clicked on something. I didn't realize you can click on it. Oh, now we've got a landing page. All right, so I just clicked on a carousel. I
detail
didn't
page
realize I was
from-
clickable, but I hovered over and I clicked on it. And now I get a detailed page. It's an event, and it's in Buenos Aires. Oh, okay. So this is an event going on in Brazil, and it's $100. Okay, and there's who's going. Okay, all right.
So maybe this is kind of like a meetup for.
It sounds like a meetup a little bit. It sounds like an event, like those type of event sites. But again, now I'm in LA. How is this? I'm gonna click on Symphony. Let's see where this one's at. This one's in Buenos Aires too. Okay, so clearly they're targeting events that are going in Buenos Aires. I would have loved to have seen Buenos Aires more prominently featured instead of local everywhere. But apparently, I'm not in Buenos Aires. Yeah, all of these events are in Buenos Aires. So then maybe
Yeah,
just
so
early.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what the magic is here, but it looks like they've got some event-based platform that they're trying to get us into. I mean, I imagine if you're in Buenos Aires, you're probably going to get an invite to one of these things through this channel.
Possibly, yeah. But I'm also looking at who's going. There's really nobody going. I'm not seeing any interest. They do have these sections, and it looks like they've got the detailed page kind of fleshed out here, but we're not seeing a lot of the seed content, which is one of the main problems when you're starting any startup, is it kind of looks like a ghost town, guys. So I don't know how you found this, Jeff, but yeah, I wish these guys well, and I hope you guys have more seed content before you let people in. So from a design standpoint, I give it a 2. Originality, same thing, 2. Survival, 2. Marketing, 2. Yeah.
Yeah, their homepage, put in my description, they basically need a demo, which is what I often say. But I did think the design was attractive enough to get me to bookmark it, I guess.
Yep, yep. Yep. All right. So with that, Jeff, I think that ends our show for today. How do you feel about this so far? Is this feeling good to you, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, I think this feels pretty good. I mean, I'm, pretty easy to please. I could probably do another one, but if we want to try to keep it constrained, maybe we should. I do like trying to bring in the other topics, some news stories. Hopefully, people find interesting a little bit other stuff than just the startups we're reviewing. I don't know. What do you think? How you feeling?
Honestly, I don't know. I kind of feel like we should keep going, but at the same time, I do want to see our high user engagements. People are dropping off after the first couple of minutes, and so maybe we should jump right into the startups. I really don't know, but again, we don't have enough numbers to see if the sample data is actually fairly accurate and all that. So we're still kind of stumbling around in the dark. So either way,
Yeah, so let me throw a challenge. If anyone's listening right now, they got this far into the video, just leave us a comment real quick in the YouTube video. Just drop us a line and let us know that you made it this far. And that'll help us actually a lot.
Yeah, that will definitely help us a lot. Okay, so with that, let's end it today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and look forward to recording another episode with you, Jeff.
All right, see you tomorrow.